Bal Masqué is another great way to kick off Carnival season here in New Orleans. We're going to talk to some chefs and some attendees to this great event to find out what it is about. Definitely, we like it because it empowers the youth in the city of New Orleans. Let's take a look. Why do you do this amazing event? What is the main purpose of it?
Well, the main purpose of this event is to support New Orleans and support the kids of New Orleans and job mentorship and job training programs, but mostly the people in the city that mentor the youth of the city that need the help. And I wanted to do that in a way that paid homage to the music and the food and the culture that made New Orleans, which to me were the Caribbean, Latin roots, African roots of New Orleans. To combine the roots with the music and the food and the culture that we have in New Orleans, and seeing the band from Colombia playing with Nathan and Zydeco Cha-Chas together was the highlight of my night. Not only that, but seeing how busy we were tonight and how many more people are coming, and I feel like this has been a real turning point in our event. But really kind of just paying homage to our roots of who we are in this city.
So we're here with Joaquin Rodas. He is the owner of Bacchanal. And I just want to ask you, obviously you're here to support a cause, right? What is this cause and why you feel it's important to support it?
Well, the Link Sajewski Foundation, I think it's really important to support and really get as much resources to our young people in New Orleans. I mean, this is, for all intents and purposes, in a lot of ways, a food desert, educational desert, resource desert. So I think the organization does they do a good job bringing attention to a lot of the needs of the community here in New Orleans. So we support it full-heartedly. Yeah.
Son of a Saint has a lot to do with what's going on tonight. Tell me about that.
Well, we met probably about 4 years ago. I met Donald Link and Stephen Trajewski, and I pitched them on Son of a Saint and what we did, and they embraced it, and they said, look, we support a few organizations, but we want to add Son of a Saint to their group. And they host this event tonight to help raise money for us and for our boys. So they support us financially. That's what this event does. So I think, as chefs, they're so used to being in the kitchen and cooking, and, they mentor their chefs, sous chefs and everybody else around them. And I think that what they wanted to do is get out of that and really support the youth in New Orleans that are outside of their direct support, and who they are every day. And see, and I think they did a great job of looking at organizations who are doing the work. And we're very grateful for their contribution. And tonight's a fun event. I don't have my mask on right now. I gave my mask to somebody else, but it's all good.
It's a great event, and I know you got a chance to be here earlier for the rehearsal with the boys.
Yes,
Tell me about their experience. What were they saying about it?
Well, the boys were, the boys are very observant. We have about 12, there were about 12 to 15 boys, all teenagers, and this is the first time they're really around this type of music. But I think the beautiful thing is them being on stage, with the congas, with the guitar, and the keyboard. They got a chance to really connect with the musicians, and it was very welcoming for them. And I think that's more than anything what's really important. The music is a vehicle for that connection to these musicians, these great musicians who are here today. So the boys were just really grateful for the opportunity to be around them.
run into our friend Adolfo Garcia, which you can tell because he's hiding behind a mask like everybody else here at this wonderful event. I just wanted to ask you, like, why are you here tonight? Why is it important to support Bal Masque and the cause behind the linked, and I don't know how to say that other last name, foundation?
Right. Well, you know, Donald and Steven are two guys that are, you know, very well respected chefs in the city, and besides that, you know, they've taken the momentum they have as cooks and as restaurateurs, as entrepreneurs, and they've tried to create good behind that. So I see what they do in the community, and the way they help children, they help with education, they help with feeding children. To me, those are the important things, the things that I consider important when I participate in a charity event, when I donate or when I donate my time. I always like there to be some component that has education or feeding or, you know, children involved. And these guys are all about that, and I really like what they do culinarily. I love what they do, and I love what they do with their foundation. And there's a lot of people, we all kind of came up together in the restaurant business, you know, in the 1990s and the early 2000s. And so we kind of have a very close relationship, so I support them strongly.
This is a great party. There is absolutely amazing food, great music, a beautiful environment, very New Orleans, but they also mix a little bit of Caribbean into the celebration of Carnival itself. What do you think about that?
I think there's no place like New Orleans. It's a cultural melting pot. So you do have Afro-Latino, you have Latino, you have Caribbean, you have Cajun, and this party celebrates all of that. And it's the kickoff to Mardi Gras season every year, but it's really deeply cultural. There's a lot of heritage, and I think that's really special. And I think the men in all of our organizations, Link Strajewski and Son of a Saint, they represent that as well. So it's a reflection of what that looks like. It's good for the population.